Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Out the Box series. I'm your host, JD the Plug, also known as Josh. I have a very special guest with me this evening. I have my brother, producer, songwriter, Isaac.
How are you, man?
I'm good in yourself.
Sakbazi, right?
Makbule or
Makbule.
Nulawi.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, this has been a long time coming, brother.
Yeah.
We've had many great conversations. And first of all, I would like to sincerely and humbly thank you for introducing me to your daughter, Sienna.
Yes, no problem.
She is a favorite at Out the Box series. You've done such a great job at raising her.
Thank you.
And I can see she's very intelligent, she's articulate. But with a little side conversation we've had, you said she's a little bit sheltered. That's good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I want you to build on that. How blessed would you say she is to be able to have a father that's in the industry?
I think it's really special because I've dealt with female artists that had always had issues with male producers and male, musicians dealing with. So she never had to go through that. So that's why I think I go towards her being sheltered because she knows nothing about somebody trying to make a move on her or try to ask her out while doing music, and then and then a lot of female artists would come to me and say, oh, I was working with this producer, he took forever with my music, he took forever with my beats, and when he sent the beat it wasn't right. I'm like, well, I wonder if he's just interested in you and he's not doing because you didn't give him what he wanted. He didn't give you what you wanted. So she never had to deal with that. So I'm very happy for her that she grew up in that situation where she never had to deal with that. So she had to deal with me telling her the truth. So it was all about purely just, is the music good or bad? If she brings me something, I'll say, oh, that's no good. I don't know what you were thinking. That is not gonna work. So I feel like I'm hard on her, but I just know her capability. I know how good she could be, and I know that she needs to push. We always want that extra push. And I would never lie to her.
I wouldn't consider it hard parenting. If you think it's hard parenting, you already know of our Haitian background, brother.
Oh man.
You're doing all the right things,
Oh
though.
man. Yeah. We're dealing with my mother. Growing up, it was my mother. She introduced me to the music.
Oh.
When I was growing up, I wanted to be a doctor. But when she put a guitar in my hand, that was it. She was like,
What?
Yeah, I did it. The thing that Haitian parents fear the most.
I'm generally confused.
I know. She probably thinking, and then, but when that happened, that was it. I just started playing guitar, and I just fell in love with music, and that was it for me.
Wow.
Never stopped.
The fact that your mother, Haitian woman, put a guitar in your hands?
Yeah. I don't think she had any idea that it was go that. I don't think she expected it to go that far. She just wanted me to have something to do. She probably felt bad that she was, we were poor and she just wanted me to get involved in something, but never imagined it was gonna turn into a band, songwriting, dancing, singing lessons, piano lessons. I'm sure she never imagined that. So it completely went left for her.
If there's one thing about our people, we're resourceful, man.
Yeah.
Give us one little resource, and we're gonna go above and beyond.
Yeah.
Wow, to see that just the guitar evolved into all of this.
I know. And imagine it was classical guitar. It wasn't even like pop. It wasn't even like pop music. It was classical guitar. Probably the hardest style to play. But I still fell in love with classical guitar music.
Wow.
So it was weird.
So that's not weird. I'm astonished. I don't even have the words to say because it really makes sense to see how your daughter is and to understand your upbringing, your exposure.
Yeah.
How old were you when you wrote your first song?
Wow. I mean, I was writing songs on my way to grade school. I would walk to school and I would just sing. I would just start singing something, and I would say, "Is this mine or is this a song on the radio?" And it was actually a song I was writing as I'm walking to school, So I was writing very young. Maybe I was her age, 13, maybe 12.
Wow.
Never thought much of it, but I just knew I always had a good sense of melody. And actually, my producer name is Melodyman, but I always had a sense of melody. Just making up melodies whenever I felt like it. And they weren't corny either. I mean, people could make up melodies, but is it catchy? Is it something that, and I always knew it was good when I couldn't remember it again. Like I was like, man, if I can't remember this, I felt like if it was just mediocre, I would remember it every time. But if it's when something's coming from a special, special place, it's hard to pull again and again and again because it's like a gift.
Yeah.
So you can't just grab it whenever you feel like it. You better grab your phone or grab a recorder and hit that recorder and get it. Because that's the moment. It's not gonna happen again. So you better get it quick. You wake up from a dream, you have a melody from a dream, you better grab that recorder and then record it because it's not gonna come again. You won't remember it. You're lucky if you do, but most likely you won't.
You know what that reminds me of? That time Michael Jackson woke up early in the morning and hit up his producer. He's like, "Oh, we got to record the song." He's like, "It's 3 o'clock in the morning." He's like, "If I don't, Prince is gonna do it."
Absolutely, yeah. He knew it had to be done right away. Yeah.
So when would you say that you first developed that intuitive gift to be able to go into the ether and pull this magic?
Well, I think it had to be when I formed the band. When I was like 18, I was attending college, and one of my friends says to me, hey, let's form a band. And I was like, are you crazy? Form a band? Who's playing the instrument? Who's singing? What are you talking about, form a band? I thought it was crazy. I really did. But we started, put the pieces together. Long story short, when they started playing and jamming with the guitars and bass and everything, I said, yo, I hear something, man. And I'm like, yeah, let me grab the mic and show you what I heard. And when I started singing, they just started following along. And it started to just grow from there. They just started playing. The bass picked up my melody. The guitar started playing. So it definitely started forming for me, creating that melody at that time. So that's when I knew that something was happening here. I don't know where it came from some pain, from anger. I don't think it was from happiness, because I wasn't very happy growing up. So it must have been from pain. The pain of being poor, the pain of not having what you wanted or what in life, the struggle. It came from the struggle. I think that's where it came from.
Wow, that's very deep. And it's just interesting because after speaking to your daughter and hearing like your experience, it's like at certain key points and ages, you guys are like almost mirroring each other.
Yeah. That's why we fight sometimes.
Because you've been there. You know exactly.
Sometimes she sounds like me with things she says. I'm like, man, I'm having a fight with myself.
And it's great that you're able to guide the future generation, not only your daughter, but it's kind of like you're doing work for yourself as well.
Yes.
It's kind of like healing that inner child wound.
Absolutely. It was a healing process because I was very angry growing up. Very angry.
And Haitian household, I understand.
Yeah. I always felt like my mother could have done more. She could have, did things differently. But I forgave her for that. It took me a long time to forgive her. But we grew up it was tough because I remember one time I didn't speak to my mother in her own house.
Wow.
For like years, for like maybe 2 or 3 years. I would see my mother walk on the street and I would cross the street. I was just that angry.
I understand, because it's just like how I mentioned your daughter's able to articulate and express her emotions. We weren't necessarily able to do that. No. And our parents weren't even aware of all the complexities that they were dealing with, their own trauma.
That's right. Yeah. And my cousin explained that to me, because, I know you're angry at your mother, but you have to understand your mother came from a very, very, broken place in Haiti, where her parents died before I was born.
Wow.
So she had not much education, so she didn't know what to do. She was really like, just winging it, basically, so.
She did the best she could with the resources she had.
Yeah.
Well, you turned out into a great individual, my brother.
I try. I'm not perfect, believe me. I have my moments and issues, but I just think it's just good to be just a good person. You try to be a good person, and you only live one life, and you just try to be happy. You have to be happy because you only have one life, and you have to always remember that. So, and that keeps me. And it's not that I'm going into a dark place, but you always have to recognize that this one life has to be special.
Yeah.
You have to make it special, because again, I said this, people said this 1,000 times, you don't come back and do it again.
No.
So that's why because of that mentality, I do things differently, because I keep that mentality with me all the time. Like I'll get up early just to do something real quick, just do a lot of things, right? Because I'm in school. So, just trying to do everything, before, before whatever,
I get
or
that.
whenever.
So you mentioned school. Are you going to school for music?
Yeah.
Songwriting?
Yes. And composition.
How has that experience been?
It's definitely not as easy as I thought. You know, it's challenging because I'm learning how to write music by hand, you know, notation, you know, on staff paper, you know, and it's challenging, you know, and even though I'm very familiar with writing, but when somebody gives you in specific instructions, that's when the discipline comes in. It's easy to do what you want, but it's not easy to do what somebody is asking you to do. I want you to do this key, this many bars, you know, borrowed chords. I want you to change this key here. It's so that you have to. That's a different level. So this is where I want to be though, because that makes me better. Because let's say a client comes to me and says, "I want this," or I get a film sent to me and they want specific things. So that's what I'm training for, to do specific things. So you know, but I think it's definitely a different level when you're able to take specific instructions and deliver. That's another thing.
The Melody Man has a method to the madness.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I love it. I love it. So, how is your creative process like when it comes to songwriting? And then I want you to mention your creative process when it comes to production.
Well, songwriting, it's a feeling, you know. It's basically I would listen to other samples or I would play the piano. And if something comes to me, it has to be special though. Like the melody has to be, because the melody to me is everything. There's music all around us. You could buy music, you could create music, you could get music from a friend. You know, I was tell Sienna is that the melody that you write is what you're going to draw the audience to. The beat is great, yeah, that's definitely going to draw the audience as well. But when you start singing that first phrase, that first flow, is what you're going to stop the crowd from talking, stop the crowd from having a conversation. The minute they hear certain frequencies, where is this frequency taking me? You know, so basically, I would listen to the sample and see if anything hits me, any melody comes to me, you know, and that's one. And then if it does, I would continue with the song, or I would just keep looking for something that gives me something back. You know, and if it's not good, I just won't even bother. I wouldn't even, if it has to be something that says, wow, I like this melody. And the melody to me is it. You know, you could have the worst music in the world, but if you lay something on top of it, a good melody, you could bring that music to life.
I just gotta say something to the audience real quick. Make sure y'all paying attention, because after this, y'all ain't gonna be able to afford him. All right, you can continue.
Yeah, so that's basically, you know, and I think, and I overheard Michael Jackson say that too. Melody is key. It has to be just. He's like a rapper. When he flows, his flow is what is gonna make the music. The beat, I understand the beat will make the music, but what he's saying, how he's saying it. You know, forget about what he's saying, because these days people say all kinds of stuff. I don't even understand what sometimes people are saying, but it's the feel, you know, the flow of this. What specific note are you choosing in the scale, and how long are you holding it? How short it is, how long it is, and where it goes from C to E, and how it's constructed. To me, is the most important thing.
Man, I love having conversations with you because the way you communicate, it's infused with a wealth of knowledge and information from your experiences.
Yes.
And you took the time to filter out all the garbage, and you're just giving people the golden nuggets.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's the thing, you know, you really have to, because I've been a producer for a very long time. I wrote the songs for my band, wrote songs for other people, you know, so that all that junk has been passed, has been swept already. You know what I'm saying? So I go right to the point with what, you know. Even when people come to my studio, I tell them, you know, the melody you're choosing could be better. Where you're going with the notes should be better. You should go from here to here to here to there, instead of what you're doing there, because it makes it more interesting. You know, but I think that is very important.
Very important. How many instruments do you play, by the way?
Well, I play piano, classical guitar, / Spanish guitar, and I'm also a singer and a vocal coach.
And what do you not do? But besides drugs.
Well, I wish I could sleep more. That's one thing I wish I could do.
We can never get enough sleep.
Yeah. Oh, forget it.
Wow, so the Melody Man, he really, it just makes sense why you operate the way you do. And we've also had conversations about constructing this. But would you ever see yourself teaching a songwriting camp or doing a songwriting camp?
Oh, I would love that.
Yeah, we definitely need to collab
Yeah,
on
I
that.
definitely would love that. Cause yeah, it would be fun to teach someone to actually. I love teaching. I've been teaching my whole life. Whether it's Sienna, whether it's other clients. Just showing them certain things, and sometimes people, it's hard to find somebody that wants to learn. I find that sometimes people are so stuck in their ways, and that's what I think also makes me a little bit different sometimes because I'm always willing to learn, no matter how long it's been, no matter how much I know. Someone can always show you something. It could be this small, but it'll add to your wealth of knowledge. It'll just be one more drop in. So I never discard anyone, whether you're 10, whether you're 70. If you show me something, oh, let me see that. Let me see what you're doing. And if I already know it, I know it. If I don't, oh, the one more thing that I know. So I think we always keep an open mind. Always willing to take in. You always want to have more and more knowledge. So I think a lot of people don't. And sometimes when I teach somebody something like, oh, they discard it, but I try to tell them, you really need to listen
attention.
to this. This will help you. And sometimes people always think they know more than you. No matter what the situation is. Someone that does not be famous to show you something either. They don't have to be like a known producer to be able to show you something. So, but I think having a camp would be great. I would love that.
Yeah, we definitely got to work on that.
Oh yeah.
What was the influence that made you get into production? Because I know you've been doing it for quite some time.
Yeah, this is actually it's a good question because a funny story behind that. My band kicked me out.
I mean, the star usually gets the boot, right?
Yeah. It's funny because I remember we were a very serious band. We actually rented a duplex, brownstone together because we actually all left our home just to have a place we practice as much as we wanted to. So we were that serious.
Wow.
So, but we started butting heads, and make a long story short, they actually kicked me out of the band.
Man.
And I'll never forget this meeting where I said, how could you kick me out of the band when I am the band? Not to sound conceited, but I write all the songs. So that forced me to get into production. So without the band, I was kind of like lonely. I didn't know what to do. So eventually I started just writing my own songs, so that's pushed me to do that. And then, yeah.
One thing you can attest to from life experiences, in order for us to really grow, in order for us to know who we are, we literally have to have our backs thrown against the wall.
Yeah.
Because only through those situations will you be able to pull out something that you weren't even aware that was there.
Yeah. And my back was against the wall because I was lost without my band. But I decided to continue studying singing. I was going to different teachers, studying all kinds of vocal, rock, R&B, falsetto, opera. I did, so just trying to get myself together, get myself better. And then I just started writing. I didn't even know what I was going to write because usually I would have a guitarist play for me or someone on the drums just jamming. So I had to do a lot of my own, So I took I took additional piano lessons, just to get me back into. And I went back into the studio, nervous. My first time in the studio, I was super nervous. You can hear it in my voice. I was just really nervous. I didn't know what to do. Man. So, but it forced me to grow and just become, start writing.
Story is very inspiring because
Yeah.
From all the conversations I've had with you, I was not even aware that this was some of the behind the scenes things.
Oh yeah, so it's a lot. It's a long journey. It really is a long journey, and I'm just surprised I'm still doing music. I would expect to give up by now. I'm like, you know what, I'm done with this. But something, when Sienna came out, it was beautiful because, she was talking about Runaway, and when she actually did Runaway, I was really surprised the melody she created because I'm big on melody, So I was like, wow, you actually wrote that? You really wrote that? She's like, yeah. I was like, wow, that really blew my mind. So that's when she actually went to a different level. You know, she as a little girl, she would come up with little baby stuff, and I was like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. But then when she did Runaway, I was like, oh, it's just her growth has been really incredible, you know, for me to watch because now she's growing into this really talented individual that I'm so proud, you know, and you know, so and I know she has more to go, but she's definitely at a place where she can become a star, and she will.
I agree.
Yeah, I have no doubt. You know, it's. I know it's about maybe who you know, not what you know, but they'll find her eventually. It'll happen, and you know, and she's lucky. Like I said, she has a complete studio in her home.
Yeah.
She never have to step out of her house to record something. You know, and sometimes I want to take her out of the studio to give her a different venue, a different feel.
A different
you know, take her to
exposure.
quad or something like that. Just different, but we're comfortable where we are for now. You know, so she's very lucky that way.
One thing I think that's interesting when it came to your star power, right? Your star power came from your pain, which you turned into power. And her star power seems to be focused on love because since she's in such a loving and caring environment,
Yeah.
she doesn't have to be exposed to the hardships that's going to have to kind of, you know, make her unnecessarily and prematurely have to. You get where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
I don't really have the exact words, but
Yeah.
it's just like it's very amazing to see the contrast and the fact that she's your daughter.
Yeah.
So, how's your experience been working with her?
Well, I mean, it's funny that you say that. It's good questions, man. Because it's funny you say that because I sometimes I think I told her once that you haven't started writing yet because you haven't experienced as much pain as I have. You know, when you write your words are very playful and joy and filled with, you know, candy and bubblegum, you know. So because you don't know, you know, the real pain of getting beat up after school, you know, or you coming home, your mother beating you with a matinette.
Oh yeah.
You know, you know, or your mother sending a request to Haiti to have a switch sent special just for your back. You know, she don't know about that.
No, not
You
at
know,
all.
or you know those things that you know. So she hasn't experienced, and I'm glad for her that she hasn't. But I think my writing is different. When I write, it's deep and it's felt. You could actually, I told her, lyrics are great when you could actually read it. When you could just take lyrics and you sit there and you read it and it all makes sense. To me, those are great lyrics because you don't need music to make it sound great. You could just read it like a book from every part of it, from the verse, the chorus to the bridge. It all makes sense like a story, you know. So so sometimes when I read her lyrics, I'm like, okay, what does this mean? What the hell is this? What is that? What is that supposed to mean? You know. So we laugh about it, but we know we work on it, we change it. But I think I always tell her because you need to, not that I want her to, but because her life is different than my life, you know, and her life is supposed to be better than my life. But I think the reason why, you know, she writes the way she does because again, there's a lack of pain, which is good.
Yes.
Which is good. But when I write songs, it's different because there's pain behind it. You know, her is just nothing but love and joy.
I know, right?
You know, which is fine.
It's a good route to
It's a good
be
thing.
able to experience.
Yeah.
Because, and overall, it's such an amazing contrast because you literally had to go through all those experiences so that way she doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Because when I look at my nephew, because my nephew, he's 21. His mom, who's my older sister, she's the oldest out of all of us. I'm number 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Though she grew up in Haiti with like a lot of privilege, because like my parents were sending home money for her, so
Yeah.
you know she had like the maids, the servants, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I never grew up like that.
Yeah.
She's very jaded on her approach and her outlook on stuff, and it causes a conflict with her and my nephew. Because the fact that, you know, he's 21, he's a young man, she views him literally as a child.
Yeah.
And he's working, he's going to school, he's not in trouble, he's doing all the right things, and it's just with her, with all the hardships she went through in Haiti,
Yeah.
it just makes her very jaded to, you know, the experience here.
Yes. Yes. I'm the same way. Yeah. It's been tough, you know. Just even my journey in music has caused me a lot of pain, you know. and that's why I'm surprised I'm still in it, and I'm getting deeper and deeper in it. It's crazy. I don't know. I have a obsessive personality. When I like something, I just jump off the cliff for it. That's it. It's done. Like, I hope I never get into drugs because I'll be done. I'll be done in like in 24 hours. I'll be, because when I have a passion for something, it's crazy. I just do not stop. When I first started singing, people told me I sucked. I couldn't sing. That you'll never be a singer. You'll never be a singer. So, I wouldn't stop until I became a singer. And I don't know why my voice gave me such a difficult time, but I became a singer and a vocal coach. And I'm a really good vocal coach because whatever problems you got, trust me, I had them all. From flat notes to being hoarse, not able to hit falsetto, not be able to hit low notes, not having a mixed tone, So I even read books on vocals, on the mechanism of the vocal cords, because I didn't understand why I couldn't sing. Why me? Why couldn't I sing? So it took a long time though for me to get there. It took over maybe 15 years for me to be able to actually sing the way I wanted to. It took a long time.
Wow. You are the epitome of experience is the best teacher.
Yeah.
Vocal coaching. It's just so interesting that from your experience that, you ended up taking that route. How would you say that it's helped you as a songwriter up to this point in your career? Because like you said, in the beginning, it was a lot of different challenges. And through those challenges, you're able to identify different roadblocks that people may come into.
As far as vocal, well, I mean, my experiences was that I just had a difficult time, and stop me if I'm not answering the question correctly, a difficult time with just being able to sing the way I felt inside. What was coming out was definitely was what I wanted. And people had no problems telling me, man, you suck. You can't sing, So I remember the first concert my mother ever came to see me, I was booed off stage. The one concert my mother came to see me at, I actually was booed off stage. But it's amazing how that never deterred me, that never turned me around. I just kept going forward. I don't know what it is about me that I don't stop until I get what I want. Because I think many things are possible. I think, it's not like I'm asking to fly. I'm not asking to be the strongest man in the world or the fastest. I'm just asking to sing or asking to do something. I think anything can be done, especially if someone else has done it too, or many people have done it. Some people say, I think anybody could sing. I could teach anyone how to sing. I can't teach you what to sing. I can't teach you to riff or choose, how you're going to use your voice, but I can give you a voice, because I've been there when I didn't have it. So.
This reminds me of a conversation that we had not too long ago in regards to awareness and the way you are able to break down the different concepts, the different aspects that encompass songwriting. A lot of people are not even aware that this much goes into it. People just think like you just sing, especially when it comes to, vocal training and being a vocal coach. People think you just sing and then that's it. You just write songs and then that's it. There is literally techniques and methodologies that must be comprehended. Would you say it was challenging for you to learn? Would you say it was challenging for you to acquiesce to these demands to be able to find that voice within yourself?
Well, yeah, it was challenging because I have a big range. So my teacher once told me that the reason why you have so much problems is because, I don't know how true this is because I can hit very high notes at full voice and very low notes at full voice. So he goes, we have so much garbage we have to go through, because I can hit a high C full voice and a low C, and I've learned that it was challenging to what's called the middle voice, where your chest intertwines with your falsetto. There's a middle ground where it gets really shaky, and everyone has trouble with this middle ground, where the chest and the falsetto needs to intertwine cleanly. So it was challenging. I had to understand that. I don't know if did I answer the question?
Yeah, you did.
So yeah, so it's and I believe not everyone has this problem. Some people wake up and have a great voice. They just naturally have us, can sing, but for me, I didn't have that, because like not everybody goes through what I went through. It just made me a better teacher.
Speaking of being a teacher, you've been able to learn a lot and you've been able to teach people a lot. Would you say, well, it's a two questions I want to ask. First, how's your experience been working with other artists? And would you say that your sessions would be more like teaching sessions?
Sometimes, we get all kinds of clients coming to the studio. So sometimes people are not as talented as I would like them to be. But my job is not to tell them if they're talented or not. My job is to help them to leave with a good product.
Yeah.
But it's been challenging because I don't want them to leave without something good. Even if they're not that good, I try my best to make them leave with something good, because I know how many people are going to listen to it, how many times they're going to play it, because I've been there. So, and they're going to have this audio for the rest of their lives. They come in 20, they're probably still going to have it when they're 40, when they're 50, so I try my best to tell, to maneuver them to do whatever I got to do, auto tune it, pitch correct it, whatever I got to do to make it sound, even if I have to add my own production to their original songs, just to make it sound good for them. I think that's just, I just cannot help but to try. I can't just press record and have them leave the studio. That's not good enough. I have to give them something that's good, that they could love and appreciate.
You're very dedicated. I will give you kudos to that, because so many people will just press record just to make money.
Yeah.
You know how simple that is?
It is simple. And to me, the money is not going to change my life. It's not going to, not going to give me enough money where I could buy a mansion tomorrow. So, I mean, yeah, it could add to my finance, but that's not the most important thing to me. My most important thing is the music, is what I give you has to be, great, and I've done a lot of work for hardly nothing just to make something sound good. So I think, because I know how important the music is to the artist. I've been there, so I sometimes I would tell them, listen, sometimes I literally tell them, you're not ready to record. I don't want to take your money. And sometimes they'll come to the studio and they would actually start writing in the studio. I'm like, what are you doing? You're writing? Right now you're writing. You want to pay me for you sitting here and writing your song. I said, listen, man, can you just come back when you have everything ready? Because of course I could sit there and watch the clock and have them, create. That's money I'm making from doing nothing.
Yeah.
So I said, listen, man, just listen, stop what you're doing. When the song is ready, you can come back and we could book another session. But don't ever write in the studio unless you have some serious backing and the money don't mean anything, But I've done a lot of things like that because the music is an important thing, and I'm not trying to just take people's money. That's not the goal. The goal is to make great music.
So you know how they have gatekeepers in the industry and just in life? I would like to call you a gate guardian. You want to know what a gate guardian is?
Behind the gatekeeper.
What the gate guardian is, their job is to guard the gate, but the thing is, they're willing to let people in. Yeah. If you don't qualify, they ain't gonna let you in.
That's right.
Where's your credentials?
Yeah. Yeah.
So with you being a gate guardian, how would you say, what are some of the most notable songs that you've created with artists? What are some of your favorites that you can think of at the top of your head?
Well, it's definitely the songs I created with Sienna, because I do most of my work with her, So some of my favorites, songs that, like we have a song called Time that I cherish because it talks about it takes time for things to come to be, and that song means a lot to me because it relates to people just pushing themselves and trying over and over to do something, So I think about that. And if I were to think, I mean, the new release she has, Toxic, I like the beat of that. That's one of my favorites as well. And Runaway, you know, there's a lot of songs that I like, you know. And I'm actually a fan of Sienna, you know. And as she's grown up, you know, before I didn't think she was serious. I would actually remember the very first time. This is coming back to me. The very first time I said, you know, I'm going to test her. I said to myself, I want to write a song and see how she does with this, how serious she is, how is she, you know, because I don't like wasting my time. If you're not serious, I'm not writing for you, you know. So and she actually came through. I think it was Runaway that I tested her with. I think when she came through with that with the melody, I was like, oh, okay, I think we got something here, you know, because I don't like just writing a song for someone that's not serious. That's a waste of my time, you know. So that's when, you know, I knew she was ready, you know.
Wow, the origins of a star, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. I always tell her she stole my spotlight. She's gonna be everything I want her to be.
Well, hey, at least you'll be in the background.
Yeah, I don't
Enjoy
mind.
it.
I don't mind.
You have your meal ticket for the rest of your life.
Exactly. She owes me big. Lots of black rice.
You know? Oh yeah, definitely. We love that black rice.
Yo, forget it.
So how many years would you say that you've been in the music business altogether? Because you've virtually been doing this your whole life.
Yeah.
But from a professional standpoint, what would be the time frame or the time period?
Wow. I would say about maybe professionally, it's about 20 years. 20 years when I actually built my studio. And she watched the studio grow from nothing to what it is now. I mean, from an M box, if people know who that is, it's like a little tiny box with like this big fat computer, you know, 2 little speakers, and you know, and now it turned into a real, you know, because every year I'll buy something, whether it's one thing or 2 things, just to elevate the studio. You know, studying classes. You know, I took classes with Ryan West, who's a mixer engineer with 50 and Ti and all these guys. You know, took a lot of lessons with mixing and mastering. So, but yeah, she definitely watched it evolve over the years. So I say about 20 years. Almost see, she's 19. See, when she started, yeah,
Her entire life.
yeah.
And it's interesting to be able to, like you said, you've been doing this for a while, but you're just getting deeper.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're getting deeper, it's a blessing that you can experience these depths with your daughter.
Yeah, it is. It is special.
I also feel like you guys will be like a blueprint for what's to come in regards to like the dynamic duo, the dynamic family duo.
Yeah.
Because like my business partner says, like, hey, the money's being kept in the family.
Yeah, exactly.
She
I mean, it's funny because I joke and say one day she's gonna be famous and she won't need me anymore. You know, because that can happen. You know, and I would be happy for her. Sometimes you get signed to a record company and they have all their people.
Yeah.
You know, so I keep an open mind with that as well. You know, but in the meantime, you know, it's just me and her. But it can happen where, you know, we do go our separate ways as she grows.
I understand. Well, I can say this, that's not on her mind, apparently, from when I asked her. So
Yeah.
she doesn't feel any type of uncomfortability. But like you
Definitely.
said, the nature of the business, it's ever changing.
That's right.
When it's all said and done, with the accolades that you have been able to garner for yourself, what do you want your career to stand for? What message do you ultimately want people to know about you as an artist?
Well, I think what I'd like to know is that, you know, it never ends unless you want it to end. It's never finished unless you want it to. You want to finish it. Doesn't matter how old you are, as long as you still have the passion and you take things. And number one is take things seriously. You can't joke with your passion. Don't play with that. If you love something, learn it better, fine tune it, you learn more about it, get the education behind it, get the technique behind it. Don't just think just because you have a talent that it ends there. Continue growing with it, get better at it. You know, if someone tells you could sing, you're a great singer, you know, don't hesitate to find a vocal coach and be better. Always want to be better. You know, no matter how great you are, always strive to be better. You know, And I think it has a lot to do also being healthy, staying healthy, staying strong, so you can continue to evolve, continue to grow. And if you're saying the bottom line is if you're passionate about something, it never ends. The learning never ends. It could be small, and of course, in the beginning, you're learning a lot. As you get more and more knowledgeable, maybe the learning gets a little smaller because you know so much.
Yeah.
But there's always a little, especially now that technology is changing. So there's always more to learn because of technology as well. So, but that's what I would like to leave behind. Just on people to understand that you never stop growing, never stop learning, and never want to stop learning.
I love that.
Yeah.
I resonate with that so deeply because I'm an individual where that's the reason why I frame everything under awareness now.
Yeah.
Because just like how you're saying, like you should want to be able to understand the techniques, you should be able to want to get better, you should want to practice more. That's what I encompass awareness with. Awareness is just knowledge and understanding of like a particular thing.
Yeah.
So in order to really be good at something, you must immerse yourself in it.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I have an obsessive personality, and people know me. When I say I'm going to do something, look out. I do not stop. And that's why I got to be very careful what I like and what I don't like. So yeah, so that's the thing, just I'll never stop, never stop. As long as I breathe, I'll never stop. You know.
If there was a message that you can give to your childhood self, what would it be?
How would I say, go to school sooner, stay in school, take that passion and start. And that's what the advice I would give my younger self is that instead of being in school now, I should have stayed where I was and continued. And I feel like, our parents sometimes has a lot to do with that. Not that they control, but if my mother would have pushed me and said, listen, you want music? Go to school for music. Oh man, those words, let me tell you, man, that's all I needed to hear.
What you're saying is very powerful because sometimes it's the fact that we are lacking certain conversations.
Yeah.
It's as detrimental as someone trying to shoot it down. Because if someone shoots it down, you can go against them.
Yeah.
But if it was never even brought up, how would you even know?
Yeah, absolutely. That's sometimes when Sienna's performing, I'll tell her, show them who you are.
Wow, and she's doing that.
Yeah, and sometimes if she doesn't have a good performance, I tell her, oh, it's okay. You got to be honest, but I always let her know, show them who you are. Show them you're a star. Get on that stage. Make them remember you. So and that's the things like a lot of which it's important. Those words are powerful. So I didn't used to believe that words are powerful, but words are more powerful than a punch. It really is. Someone can say something to you. You keep that for a lifetime.
Yeah.
A black eye will go away in 2 weeks. So you forget about that.
Yeah, but words cut deep.
So I think if my mom would have said those words to me when I was younger, and said, listen, you want to do music? You don't want to be a doctor? I hear you. Okay. But if you want to go to music, go to school and become the best you could be. I'd be like, what?
Battery in your back.
Man, that'd be like a rocket ship. I would have probably been in a different place right now if you'd have just said those words.
I completely.
But she was busy with other things. There was 6 of us. She was struggling every day just to put food on the table. Maybe she wanted to say it, and she didn't know how to say it.
Yeah.
She was too busy, fighting for our lives.
Understood.
So, yeah.
That's very deep. Any last remarks that you would like to communicate to up-and-coming artists that would like to make it in the industry?
It's tough right now, man, because there's just a wave of music right now, and it's scary. It even scares me because there is an ocean of music. Because of technology, everyone is making music more than ever before. So sometimes I wonder, where is there a place for me or for anybody else, because it's just being flooded with so much music. Back in my days, it was impossible to have a song on iTunes or Spotify. Only the biggest artists were on iTunes. You couldn't, me on iTunes, if you're on iTunes, you made it. That's it, you know.
Really?
So now a lot of people on iTunes, everybody's on iTunes, everybody's on Spotify. So I think it's just listening to studying the songs that are big, really paying attention to what they're doing, because you know I think it's important for upcoming artists to pay attention to what are hit or big songs or hit songs, songs that are hitting, songs that make you feel good. Study them. Study what they're doing. Study what they're using. Who produced it? What did they use to produce it? What equipment they use? What drum sounds? You know what DAW platform is it? Logic? Is it Pro? Not that it matters, but me, I like to know that. If you know, I used to hate Pro Tools, which is you know a big DAW which is considered industry standard, but they're having argument about that these days. But I used to hate Pro Tools. I learned Pro Tools because I'm like say to myself, how could I not learn Pro Tools when Billie Jean was recording Pro Tools, when Tupac, you know, when Biggie was on Pro Tools? How could I not learn something that the biggest artists in the world used? You know, I wanted to find out about it because they used it. You know, and I but go back to your question. I think just studying what is making the world move, what music is making, you know, the sunrise, what, and study the elements of what does the intro look like, what does the verses look like, what are they doing to make this change here? You know, how long is it, you know, because now songs are shorter now.
Yeah.
You know, songs like less than 3 minutes. You know, so don't make your songs too long. Don't, you know, and when we talk about that with, you know, with Sienna, like I don't think we should have long songs anymore, because yeah, it's different now. Let's make songs no more than 3 minutes or less than 3 minutes. So going back to your question, just pay attention to what's going on. You know.
I like that, because success leaves clues.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, Mr. Melody Man, where can the good people find you? Did you listen to any of our traditional Haitian groups like Zen or the former president Sweet Mickey, Michel Martelly?
You know, I only listen to him because my cousin used to live with us, and he listened to a lot of Haitian music. But I really liked it. You know, I really liked the grooves. You know, but I did listen to them. I did. I'm a Resent, Tabu Combo. What's the other one? Is it La Col? Yes, listen to them. So yeah, I really enjoy Haitian music.
So do you also listen to compa?
No, I don't. You know, I completely converted like an American. I feel like, you know, I'm so late. I'm so late with Haitian. You know, it's funny. Now that I'm older, like I definitely listen to more Haitian music now. You know, because my cousin always sends me links of Haitian music and goes, "Oh, check out this person, that person." But I'm so much into the American music that you know, I do listen to some Haitian, but not mostly American music.
I can understand, because me being a first generation American,
Yeah.
I really get put onto Haitian music from like my friends that are like hardcore Haitians.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they eat, sleep, and breathe IET.
Yeah. Even the friends I grew up with in high school, my two best friends, they never listened to Haitian music. I was never subjected to that.
And do you feel that with our language, our native language, Haitian Creole, do you feel like that created a limit to its popularity? Do you feel like that kind of naturally created a barrier for it?
Yeah, I think I think it does, because it's a tough language to understand. I feel, you know, it's and I think it does. I mean, but it's our language, you know. If you know, we can't change it, you know. So and I sometimes when I listen to Haitian music, there's some Americanized Haitian music as well.
Yes,
that
there
sounds very
is.
American, you know. So but I'm pretty sure it's pretty popular in Haiti. But sometimes I listen to others, like I used to love Davido. What's his name again? Is it Davido? His name
I don't remember his name.
I kind of forgot his, but I wonder why our Haitian music did not hit the way like Afrobeat
Yeah.
is hitting, you know. I don't know why it's not hitting like that, but I think there's a way it could be done the way it hits. I think we need to find that way, you know, to put it in a certain way that it actually works the way Afrobeat has hit, you know, because very similar,
Yeah.
you know. So
Like it's not too far off, like you
it's
said.
not too far. So maybe we need to find a certain phrase that we could say that kind of is inviting, you know, is maybe not a lot of words, just certain words placed in a certain place to make it hit, to actually fit in a certain rhythm, so people could relate to it
Yeah.
quickly, you know.
Sounds like we got homework.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We got a project to take over now. So, how was your experience growing up in Haiti and coming to America?
Well, I came here when I was 7, so I don't remember too much. I remember taking piano lessons at 3. I remember just it's like a fog, you know. I remember getting on the plane coming to United States, you know, and having a very strict father. But it was a good experience, you know. There was nothing, you know. I remember getting beat in school because you know. But it was a good experience. But it wasn't very long because again I came in when I was 7, so but it was fairly good. It was comfortable.
I like that word, comfortable,
Yeah.
because a lot of things in life aren't comfortable.
Yeah, definitely more comfortable there than it was here because I was pretty well off in Haiti. Came here, I was poor.
Oh.
So
Yo, I
it was a switch, you know. So, but yeah, it's just you know, it was good. It was good.
My last question is, a lot of great musicians don't make it. So, would you say that you are living the dream through your daughter?
I would say, I know it's still difficult. It's a very difficult business, but I think that she stands a good chance. You know, she's just going, and I think the fact that she has me around to actually, you know, guide her and you know, be there for her, being her support as a producer, and you know, everything else. Um, yeah, I think it it's not maybe not through her, but because I didn't think she would get this far. I mean, not that I didn't have hope for, you know, I wasn't thinking that she wouldn't be like successful, or whatever. But when she was younger, I didn't think she would actually. It was surprised how much how talented she became. You know, she surprised me with that because I'm very picky as far as you know what someone creates. You know, so it's great when I don't have to even teach her that much anymore. So it's like, you know, wow, she's doing her thing and there's not much for me to say. Sometimes I say, oh, this needs to be tweaked and you know, and filtered. But right now, I'm impressed with there's not much to say anymore. You know, it's getting less and less and less. You know, I think it probably has to do with me being honest. You know, if parents are, if I wasn't honest, oh, it's great, oh, this is wonderful, you know, then I don't think she would have grown as much.
Yeah. And a lot of artists nowadays, especially the younger generation, they don't have people being honest with them.
Yeah, the whole American Idol thing, right?
Yeah. Man, some of the records I hear nowadays, I'm just like, they let you release this? Oh,
Yeah.
wow. But you know, art is subjective, but at the same time, good is good and bad is bad.
Yeah. I mean, they say subjective, but I had a conversation with somebody at the gym about subjective. There is a limit to how subjective you could be. I mean, there has to be some threshold where you're like, this is garbage. You know, when does the subjection stop? Does it just keep going? You know, just you know, whatever, you know. So it has to be a limit, and I think being honest, because people were honest with me, you know, and I could not let her just do something if I didn't feel like it was, you know, good.
That's deep.